here we go with the challenges, just speaking about that. And this time the challenge league contains 32 challenges which ascend in difficulty. This is pretty much as usual, except there are more challenges, so they're probably going to be a bit quicker than the usual ones. And you will receive a piece of Rigwald's armor set for each 8 challenges you complete. So again, 4 pieces of the armor set. Every 8 challenge you complete, you will get 1 piece. This is probably the armor set. It's looking quite good. I don't like the helm personally, but it's just a very small image over here, so it's going to be really good. And there is also the totem, which once you reach 18 challenges, you get the first piece, and then every 2 challenges you get another piece. So there is a lot of incentives this league to actually do the challenges, much more than it was before. So that's really good. I like the fact that GGG is actually mixing up the rewards and giving players a lot of reasons to actually play, other than the fact that it's actually really fun. So we go to the new skills and support gems, which is a really interesting thing. We have 3 new bow skills. One is shrapnel shot, which is pretty much a straight shot. It's a lightning attack. It always pierces, and it also has a cone in front of the caster, rather caster like archer, and the cone deals more damage. So this is going to be pretty good. It's also a level 1 skill, so it's probably going to be very good for leveling if you can get it early. We still don't know if you'll get it as a reward, but I am going to go ahead and say yes, you will get it very soon. Then we got Blast Rain, another level 1 skill. It's fire, AoE and bow. It's kind of a rain of arrow, but it's fire and it works a bit different. Also, since 50% of the damage, of the physical damage, is converted to fire damage, you can use the quiver, the unique quiver, to just go full fire damage eventually. So this definitely has a couple more implication than the usual skills. And then Siege Ballista, which is a new totem skill actually, which shoots arrows that always pierce and that deal more physical damage, or rather 140% of the base physical damage, but that's just the level 1 skill, and it has less attack speed. So this is going to be very good support for those characters who just use normal physical builds, but it can also be a dual totem build. I am sure someone will figure that out. Since it's a totem, you can't have more than 2. Well, you can have more than 2, but you probably won't, as using Soul Mantle isn't really that good anyway, unless you like spamming your potions, of course. And then we got to the new physical damage spells. We got 2 new spells. One is Blade Vortex, which is the one you can see in this image. Basically summons some ethereal blades which spins around you for a set duration, which is 5 seconds base, and you can have up to 50 active spinning blades. This is pretty crazy. Also, it's gonna be really crazy if you go something like custom crit. It also has a 6 critical strike chance, 6%, so it's pretty high. And if you go custom crit Cyclone, you can probably get a lot of those around you. I don't know if it has any use in a non-custom crit builds, but I'm sure someone will figure that out. And then there's a Bladefall, which is a spell and an AoE. It's kind of a ethereal rain which comes down from the sky in a series of volleys, each one wider but dealing a little less damage. I don't know about this one, but I'm sure it works really similar to EK, except for the projectile speed, so that's not going to be very far from that one. And also, the part that I personally like more of the update are the new chaos damage spells. We got Contagion, which we saw in the last episode, dealing chaos damage per second and spreading to enemies when you kill them, so it's really interesting mechanic. Also, Essence Drain, it's a spell, it's a projectile, a single projectile, which beside dealing damage also adds another DOT, which as far as I understand stacks with Contagion and spreads as well with Contagion. Also, like Contagion, this skill scales on spell damage, even though it's chaos damage, so I'm sure Contagion and Essence Drain are going to be the main skills for anyone who's going to be chaos, and this is definitely going to be really cool. I'll probably try it out myself. We also got Wither, which is not a curse, although it's an AoE duration spell which reduces movement speed and increases chaos damage taken by enemies, so it kind of works like a curse, but it's not a curse. It's pretty weird, but it's also very good, very strong. So there we go. Here's the new chaos amplifying things. Also, Caustic Arrow is now the new name for the Poison Arrow, I guess. I don't really think it fits, but yeah, that seems to be it. And Viper Strike, of course, is the old skill, which, thanks to all these buffs, is probably going to work really well now, depending on how good is going to be the new rework on the melee splash, of course. And then we got new support gems. These are also really interesting. All of those offer some like advantages, going however for a reduction on another thing. So for example, this one gives 25 more spell damage, however it reduces your crit strike chance by 100%, so it's a more multiplier, but you will have a hard time critting, so it's basically a more multiplier for non-crit skills. However, it might work also for skills like Contagion, since it's more spell damage, and spell damage applies to this one as well, so that's going to be an interesting thing to see. And now we got Void Manipulation, reduces elemental damage, it gives more chaos damage, so again, a more multiplier. This is going to be crazy on the Poison Arrow, it's going to be crazy on all chaos skills, and the reduced elemental damage is really not a threat. I guess it's really not a problem. I don't know what downside is that supposed to be. And then we got Rapid Decay, which gives more damage over time, so another more multiplier while reducing the skill effect duration. So this is actually going to affect all the poison things, because reducing the effect will make the poison last less, of course. However, this more damage over time, and then the more chaos damage, and maybe even the more spell damage, if you can stack all of those, it's going to be really crazy, so a lot of balance is going to be required for those. And the last is Blasphemy, which allows you to keep auras, or rather keep curses up as an aura, so we're going to see that in a minute. We got more insights on this one. So other than that, of course, the new skill tree, not really a big change, but it's going to change somewhat. As you can see here, this is the shadow starting path. You can see already here it's different. It splits between elemental and crit probably. So, and then here is definitely a damage over time thing. Maybe a bleed here, maybe chaos, but yeah, I'm sure the shadow is going to be the closest to the chaos passives, so many shadows are expected to be rolled in the new leagues. And of course, it's not a new league without new items. So for example, Wrath Reach Recurve Bow, which is a low level bow, really good for leveling up. Skills chains +1 times, and it has all the other stuff you need just to level up as fast as possible. There's Kongmin's Stratagem, so while giving no block chance, it gives intelligence and energy shield, but the main points are the Socketed Traps skills create a smoke cloud when triggered, and enemies blinded, of course in this case probably by smoke cloud, will get increased fire damage and reduce spell damage. However, you can just blind enemies with other means, for example the classic Flame Totem with blind, and you can get the bonuses anyway, so there is kind of an interesting shield. And then there's a unique Spear Jewel with at least 50 dexterity allocated in radius. Each spectral throw projectile gains 4% increased damage each time it hits, so By the time your projectile comes back, if you hit a big peck, it will deal a lot more damage. However, it's not really any use against bosses, as you will at most hit them 2 times. So I don't really know about this duel. It's probably not the buff Spectral Throw needs. However, it works, so, and it's an interesting mechanic, definitely. Just the first time we see this, we might see it again. And all of this is coming on December 11, 2015. Of course, it's this year, and it's December, and it's early December as well. It's a Friday, and it's going to be midday for US. It's gonna be right in the evening for Europe, and in the morning of the next day for New Zealand. So a very good time to start, as GGG knows, and this is going to be really good. I'm really hyped for this update. It looks really fun, it looks interesting, and there's a lot of things to do other than just the usual, so really good. Let's take a look, however, at the Blasphemy support gem a little bit more in detail. So supported curse spells are cast as auras. Basically, you cast the curse, it reserves 25% of your mana, and it works just like an aura. And within the radius of the aura, everything is gonna get permanently cursed. So it's gonna be really good if you don't feel like just cursing manually. And it's also very reliable and apparently not reflectable, so probably works for Aziri as well. And looks really good. You can see the video here. And what's good about it is, well, you can also stack more and more. In this case, he is using 3 curses. One is Temp Chain for protection. The other one is a Sunset Mark, because it's a crit build, and Conductivity, so with Shock Nova it's pretty much deleting everything. You can see the rare disappeared right there, and you can see the box also disappears. Kind of makes me want to do a build like this. But yeah, this support gem looks really good and really fun to play with, so I'm definitely gonna use it in my next build. Maybe it's just a build, or rather a support gem for the lazy, but it looks really fun. Of course, it still follows the curse limitation, so you can only have 1 of the curses, and if you curse manually, the curse in the aura will take priority. So that's gonna be a bit crazy with parties. But if you get additional curses, you can use additional auras, and the enemies, of course, are going to be really nerfed into oblivion. You'll probably give up on your heralds. But to be fair, I'd rather use Blasphemy with Conductivity or any other curse rather than just using Herald of Thunder with curse on it, especially for the reliability of it, because Blasphemy will always keep everything inside its radius cursed. So that's really good. And I guess this was all for this week. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and a comment down below. Also, if you want to remain updated every week, be sure to subscribe to my channel. So that was all. I have been your host Giorgio, and I'll see you guys the next time.